A little over 3 years ago, I had a really good friend of mine decide to take his own life. He would have been turning 23 this month, actually, within the next couple of days. A huge chunk of me was really upset and hurt by his actions and the fact that I just wish he would have talked to somebody, like anybody, about what he was struggling with. And another part of me was extremely upset with myself for not picking up on the fact that he was struggling internally. But depression isn't something that you can physically see, like a broken arm or a cut on your hand. But if you struggle with depression, it is most definitely something that you can physically and emotionally feel. Um, it can have a variety of outcomes, including suicide. And I believe that this is most definitely something that more people should know about, um, in order to have a better understanding of what it actually is and learn how to be more supportive of those who actually struggle with it. So, what is depression? Um, According to the National Institute of Mental Health, depression is a common mood disorder which affects how you think, feel, and handle daily activities. It can have a variety of effects, from lack of energy to irritability. You have trouble concentrating on the simplest of tasks like homework and household chores. And it can also affect your appetite, whether it increases your appetite or you have to pretty much force yourself to eat. It just depends on who you are. Also, it makes you feel extremely guilty and worthless and kind of empty and dead inside. And it goes hand in hand with anxiety for the most part. A lot of people who struggle with depression struggle with anxiety as well. So it can it can be really hard. But some of the more physical aspects of depression consist of headaches and body aches. Those are things that people who struggle with it can physically feel. Um, so depression doesn't necessarily target a specific age group, which is why it can be extremely difficult to study, because everybody's affected differently. So it's really hard for scientists to just pinpoint one specific cause of depression, but they're able to tell us, like, you know, like environment or outside factors such as like major breakups or like job loss, can affect depression. There is also, according to ASAP Science, which is a YouTube channel, they study science. According to them, there is a science behind depression. There is a biological basis behind depression, along with a lot of psychological and social and environmental factors as well. But there is a biological basis behind it. Um, so, according to science and studies done, uh, scientists who have studied the brain uh, are able to see, I mean, many areas are affected by depression, but the hippocampus in particular, which affects emotions and mood, the hippocampus is actually smaller in people who struggle with depression. And over time, the longer that they struggle with it, the more it decreases in size. There is hope, though. There is hope. um, Studies have also shown that, like, the stimulation of these neurons that are connected to the hippocampus, the stimulation of them can actually promote um, uh, the regeneration of the hippocampus, and it actually improves your mood over time. So, yeah, there is sort of a science behind it with the biological basis, of course. Um, Understanding it, depression is more common than most people think, actually. Over 40 million adults in the United States alone struggle with it, and over 350 million people worldwide struggle with depression, according to the APAA, or the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, which these numbers are crazy to me. Um, it's more common than many people think. Um, but yeah, there are multiple ways to help, like standing up to the stigma, talking about it. One of the major things that can actually help is just by talking about it and not brushing it under the rug or ignoring it or say it's not an issue when it actually really is. It's a major issue. There are also other things that help, plenty of other things. There are antidepressants and other other antidepressants and other medications used to help depression. However, it's really difficult. It can be really difficult at first to find that right one for you. It's a process. Like, you have to try these different medications because the first medication isn't necessarily always the right medication. It can actually have a negative effect and increase your depression, and it's crazy and it's no fun. There are also talk therapies available, or psychotherapy, and these range from like group therapy sessions where everybody sits down in a circle and talks about what's going on. And there's also like one-on-one therapy sessions, which the majority of the time, a lot of people that go say whether it either helps a lot or it can help just a little bit. But most of the time, they say talk therapy at least helps a little bit to an astronomical amount. Um, Also, it is extremely important to just be there for people. Like, you would have no idea how good it feels to just know that you have a strong support group surrounding you and that is there for you to talk you through certain things and not even necessarily give you advice, but just be a listening ear. Um, so, yeah, I think depression is definitely something that more people should know about and it should be talked about more. And I hope that maybe one day that I hope it can help. Like, people can just be there to help. And knowing about it can just promote an all around physical just promote positivity towards those of us who struggle with mental disorders. So, yeah.